Hi everybody, just wanted to show you my latest thing here. This is a SilencerCo Sparrow rimfire suppressor. It took me 8 months to get the tax stamp for this. I filed my paperwork back in January, got my stamp about September, and there's going to be a lot of questions about how to get a silencer, what are the laws around it, that sort of thing. I'm not going to go into all that here. There's plenty of information on the websites about it. You can go research online about it. I'm not going to cover it here in this video. One of the first considerations you're going to have is how you're going to mount it to your firearms. Now, something like this M&P22 makes a great host for a suppressor because it has the little barrel nut on the end. You can take that off and you can put this suppressor adapter on there. I bought the adapter from SilencerCo. It's the same adapter that the Walther P22 takes. The silencer will then thread on here, and it has the O-ring engagement system which keeps the threads clean. That's specific to SilencerCo. They like the O-ring engagement, and I like it too. It seems to work pretty well. You can also do the same thing with this GSG-1911. This right here has a little barrel end that goes on here, the adapter, and that's also something I bought from SilencerCo. The suppressor threads on there just the same. Now, when it comes to rifles, you're going to have to think about something like, how do you have a threaded barrel on the rifle? This is an M&P22. It's a dedicated 22 AR style rifle, and it does have a threaded on flash hider that can be unscrewed by hand. Now, because it's not pinned and welded, this barrel has to be 16.5 inches by length to meet the ATF legal specs, and it is, so therefore I can unscrew it by hand. It's not pinned and welded. The one consideration you are going to have, though, is that the threads on here are cut like an AR-15. They're 3/4 of an inch deep, whereas the suppressor is only expecting threads to be 1/2 an inch deep. If you thread this all the way onto the shoulder, your barrel threads are going to be penetrating too far and might cause it too close to the baffle or cause damage to your baffles. So you got to make sure that you add some spacer washers or something to set that offset so that when you thread your suppressor on here, you're not bottoming out too deep on it. Make sure you don't cross thread and always just screw it in by hand. But your next question is going to be, what kind of ammunition can you run? Now, for the pistols, you can pretty much run any ammunition that you normally run, bulk pack or even CCI mini mags. In the short barrel of the pistol, the bullet is not going to go supersonic. When it comes to the rifle, you want to be careful though. In order for the suppressor to work properly, the bullet has to be below the speed of sound. If the bullet is above the speed of sound, it's going to make what's called a sonic crack. It's not really a crack, it's more like a shrieking or screaming sound that happens. The entire flight path of the bullet generates that noise from the sonic boom, and it can actually hurt your ears. So you want to make sure that you run some sort of ammunition that is subsonic. This subsonic ammunition and this CCI Quiet 22 LR work great for bolt action guns, but in a semi-automatic gun, obviously this is not going to cycle as semi-auto. This will sometimes cycle this semi-auto, but I do have feeding and function problems with the Remington 22 SubSonic. So what I found is that this CCI standard velocity works pretty well. It has enough power to cycle the action reliably, but the feet per second, the velocity on this thing is just below the speed of sound under my climactic conditions. So I'm able to use this. It cycles fine. I'm going with this for the rifle. The pistol, like I said, you can pretty much use anything. Now let's head to the range and I'll show you some shooting footage. Okay, we'll be starting with the standard velocity first. So I'll shoot into the woods, and then I'll shoot the metal plate after about halfway. So these would be 2 of standard velocity, which is just below the sound barrier. Then 2 of SuperSonic, bulk pack. Now I'll hit the metal plate. You can actually hear the plate's pretty loud. Oops, I had 4 in a row there. 2 SubSonic. Those are SuperSonic. So you get the idea. So on a pistol, it doesn't matter. But on a rifle, this is a 16.5 inch barrel. You really have to make sure that you use ammo, if not explicitly subsonic, which that can be a little pricey. At least the standard velocity in this length barrel at these environmental conditions is enough to keep you from getting a sonic crack out of there, so that keeps it quiet. Now we're moving on to the Smith & Wesson M&P22 pistol. For a pistol length barrel, I can just run normal bullet pack ammunition. It's not going to turn supersonic from this short of a barrel length. So hopefully capture some good video and audio quality. You can kind of hear the difference. You can't really hear the difference through YouTube and through your computer speakers, but you kind of get an idea. I'm going to fire a couple rounds just into the side of the hill here. You'll hear how quiet it is, and then I'll go to the metal plate. I guess that was a dud. This will be the GSG-1911 22, again with normal Blazer bulk pack ammunition. I'll fire a couple rounds into the side of the hill and a couple rounds into the steel plate. A little bit of first round pop there. Alright, this would be my grand finale. I've got 2 magazines loaded up on the M&P22 with the Sparrow silencer, CCI standard velocity ammunition, rapid fire, some into the side of the hill and then some into the steel target. Going hot. Music to the ears.